So what we're going to be doing in this video is setting up the knife animations as well as our importing an M1 carbine reload animation for our third person mesh. So let's just go ahead and get those imported and then we'll continue. So first things first, we go to character, TP for third person, animations, and we can import the M1 carbine reload. So open up M1 carbine. As usual, in the description there will be a download to a compressed document, download and extract it, and you'll have a folder. Open it up and you'll have three animations. One's for the M1 carbine, so we're going to drag and drop that in. Just going to re-import for me, but when it asks you what skeleton, just make sure to select the corresponding skeleton, which is the third underscore person underscore character underscore skeleton. So now back to animations. Let's create a new folder, call it knife. Open it up. We're going to drag out knife attack 1 and 2. So then just search for third person, select it, import all. And here we have the two knife animations. So currently we do not have any STG animations for the STG with third person. And if you're on my Discord, you will know why, because for whatever reason, when I was packaging one of my plugins, it went through and it completely deleted everything off my desktop, which included about 8 months worth of work and every single asset pretty much for this project. So I pretty much the only reason that we have these animations and stuff working now is because I had to go through and remake the skeleton and try to get everything about as close as I could. So yeah, that's the reason there. So now what we need to do is we need to create a socket for the knife on the skeleton. So let's open up the skeleton here. I'm actually going to go to animation and load up the knife attack 1. Also load up the first person skeleton here. Okay, so it's called S underscore knife socket. Let's create that. That's on the hand. There's the right hand. Where's the left? There it is. So here's our hand L. Just going to do it to the IK. That's what I'm doing here, right? Yep. Off the IK hand L, we're going to right click, add a socket, and name it S underscore knife socket. Now let's right click and add a preview asset for the knife. And now let's just position it. Rotate it this way a little bit. And just get it positioned pretty close. Let it go out just a smidge. And I think rotation is a bit off that way, and then drag you in. So that's where the knife's going to sit. And now we have one more. So we have this knife holster here. I want to do that kind of roughly in my pocket area. So that's all based off of the root, I believe. We're going to go, I don't necessarily want to go to the root because that's not going to make a whole lot of sense. So instead, let's see, here's our thigh, and it's controlling where I want it to be. So we're going to attach it to the thigh underscore L. We're going to right click, add a socket, and we need to call it S underscore knife holster. So here's our socket. I'm also going to add a preview asset. Can add the knife. Oh, come on, what are you giving me an issue for? There we go. So now let's just rotate it kinda how we would want it to be. Just making sure that was still in the correct place. Rotate it. Kinda want to put it more so on its hip. Rotate it out a bit. Let's move it back some. Like so. So if we actually had a kind of like a sheath or anything like that attached to them, we would be putting it inside of it to where it lined up right. But we don't, so we're just going to have it pretty much hanging there for now. And that's where we want to have it initially attached to. So when we actually have it attached there, what we're going to be doing is I don't necessarily want to hide it, so I'm going to be making some subtle change. Wait, no, actually we don't have it set to hide. Never mind. So we have our two sockets. Let's just go ahead and save. And I want to do a save all. Now we need to create our knife montage. So if we open up our FPS arms knife montage, we can see the naming and how we have everything set up. We're going to be doing the exact same thing for the third person. So we're going to right click under our knife folder and create a new animation montage for the third person character skeleton. It's going to call it AM underscore third person underscore knife montage. Open that up. We have our knife attack 1 and 2. So knife attack 1, knife attack 2. Going to create new sections. So this one's called knife attack 1, knife attack 2. So right click, new montage section, knife attack 1, and knife attack 2. Then we're going to right click on default and delete it. And then move knife attack 2 to start at knife attack 2. Now we come over here to montage sections and hit clear. So that way these are two separate things. They won't continue playing the entire montage, for example. Save it. Now we have some events here. So knife anim start. I don't know if we can add those directly, if those will carry over. Let me check. So what we're going to be doing is under notifies where I have the one, we're going to right click, add notify, new notify, and call it, oh, what do we name it? Knife anim start and knife anim end. So knife anim start. We're going to have one for knife anim end as well. That pretty much what we're going to be doing. So we have the hand here. We're going to just simply, I'm going to go out a little bit. So about here, the knife's going to get attached to the hand. And about here, it's going to get detached. So let's open up our third person animation blueprint. Go to the event graph. We'll have some events called knife anim start. So knife anim start, as well as knife anim end. So those are our events. Now for reference, actually let's see. So when knife anim starts, what we want to do is we want to attach the knife to the hand there. So we have a reference to the character. We have all our functions to get the knife and such. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag off character, confirm that it's valid. Then I'm going to do get knife. From here, I also want to do a valid check. Then we can attach it to wherever we need to. So I want to do attach to component. Then we have this name of the socket. So for the rules here, we're going to do snap a target. The parent we want to snap to is the third person mesh. So we're going to drag off to get mesh, and that'll give us our third person mesh. Connect it to parent, and then the sockets. So open up our skeleton. We have S underscore knife, or S underscore knife socket. That's going to be the socket name, like so. All right, and now on knife anim end, we're going to do the exact same thing. Drag you down a little bit, except we're going to change the name to S underscore knife holster for the socket, like so. Compile, save. Make sure to link it up first. All right. Back into the montage. We're going to do the same thing with the knife anim start and knife anim end for our, well, this animation. I went how many frames in? I'll go just straight to 2. We're going to start 2 frames in front. We're going to right click, add notify, skeleton notifies, knife anim start. So there's 1, 2. Go a little bit further in. Then we have one near the end. Right click, add notify, skeleton notify, knife anim end. It's going to be pretty much at the very end. We're going to be firing the exact same thing. Right, so we have our montage set up. Now we can close it and close the, let's see, this should already still be set up. Yes. Close the animation blueprint. And now let's look at our M1 carbine animations. So I cannot remember how I had this set up in the first person for reloads. We have one montage. Okay, so that contains our firing as well as our reloads. Actually, I don't know why I did that when we have a reference to our 1911 animation montage. So let's go down to animations, M1 carbine, open up our M1 carbine montage. We're going to drag out our M1 carbine reload. We're going to right click, create a new montage section, call it reload, and snap it to the beginning. Go to montage sections, hit clear, and save. That's it. That should be pretty much good to go. So we now have our montages set up as well as the animation blueprints. So what we can do now, well, in the next video, we'll be going through in our code and actually setting this up to function properly. So I will see you then.